Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I know that there's a lot of conversation going on whether or not college is actually worth it anymore, especially due to the rising costs of tuition nowadays and the amount of debt that students are taking on just to be at a university. And with influential figures like Elon Musk saying that college is basically just for fun. Now, although I do agree that college is really expensive now, and I wouldn't know what I'd do if I didn't have the help of my parents who actually allowed me to graduate debt-free, college was a really wild ride, and I definitely think I wouldn't be the person I am today without going to college. Now, I'm not here to tell you whether or not the ROI of a diploma is enough to offset the amount of student loan that you may have to take. This isn't the video for that. Rather, I just wanted to recall my experience in college and why I thought college was worth it to me. So if you are in college or are thinking about going to college, which apparently some of you are, or have recently graduated or graduated a while ago and just want to take a stroll down memory lane, then please keep on watching. I guess this is also my chance to shamelessly plug myself and ask you to leave a like and subscribe if you like the content that you are seeing. Now, before I explain why college was worth it in my eyes, I think it's worth giving a little personal context about my story and my background. So as a high schooler, I was a pretty withdrawn kid for most of the time. I was pretty quiet, I was shy, didn't really talk to people too much, and usually just kept within my own circle. That hasn't really changed too much, but I did take it upon myself to expand upon my comfort zone, or expand from my comfort zone. In hindsight, when I think about myself in high school, I was basically like a frog in a well who just didn't know anything about the actual ocean or the sea. My world just felt really small because I went to school with the same people for 8 years because my school was middle and high school, and I was only with like 130-ish people in my graduating class. So in a way, it almost felt like my whole world was high school, and clearly that isn't the case. If you're a high schooler watching this and you're having a rough time, maybe you're not enjoying your last years, don't worry about it. It does get better, and just wait until you go to college. When I went to college at Northeastern, basically everything changed. I met people from all walks of life. I suddenly was with strangers with no one to really rely on for the first time in almost 8 years. It really forced me to adapt and make new friends. No longer was it possible for me to just stay within my own circle and be shy and just keep to myself, because if I was going to keep to myself at the beginning of freshman year, I was going to be alone for all 4 years of college, and I didn't want that to happen to me. Over the years, I'm very fortunate to say that I've been able to develop really great friendships that even last today when I've been years out of college. Without them, I wouldn't have been able to build my confidence. I wouldn't have been able to have all these great experiences in college in and out of the classroom. Made my collegiate experience a lot less lonelier, which, you know, can suck if you don't want to be alone, and even encouraged me to pursue my dreams or passions, or, you know, even this YouTube channel. Now, of course, I love my high school friends, and I've been able to stay in touch with them over the years, and if you're from my high school and still talk to you, then you know who you are. But it was really refreshing being able to meet new people and be able to still make friends with them. Being with one group of friends could also just make you form your own little echo chamber and just disassociate yourself from the rest of society, which is not something you really want to do. And I definitely recommend diversifying your friend groups when you go to college. I think one of the greatest things about college is that you actually get to meet so many different people all at the same time, and there's really no other opportunity, I think, in the world that allows you to just cycle through friend groups as quickly as I did during college. You will meet a lot of people, but you also will realize that you don't click with a lot of people, and that's okay. From freshman year to senior year, you really get to learn more about who you are and the types of things that you do and don't like. I mean, by the end of senior year, it's not like you're complete and you've completely figured it out, because, I mean, look at me now. But you have a much better idea of who you are than when you were back in high school. If there is a regret I have from college, it would be not meeting enough people. Like, I was able to have these great friendships. I do regret not continuing to stretch out of my comfort zone, to continue meeting different people and just enjoying the diversity of humanity, I guess. Especially now when I'm graduated from college and you don't have access to all of those clubs and classes anymore, it's a lot harder to meet people out here, not gonna lie. So maybe I just missed that part of college, just being able to see people, being able to meet them and, you know, potentially form friendships with them so easily compared to the real world. I definitely took that for granted. Now, this might be an unpopular opinion, but I actually did like some of the classes that I took in college. Obviously not all of them, and there are a lot of introductory courses and other required classes that you do have to take that were mainly a chore. But for the ones that you actually wanted to take, those were like life-changing. So I majored in management in business, and basically what management classes are is teaching you how to manage people or manage organizations. But really what I learned were life skills. One of my favorite classes of all time that I took in college is called Negotiating in Business. And although the class is called Negotiating in Business, I really learned negotiation skills which can be applied to anywhere in life. When you think about it, every single relationship that you have with another person is a negotiation. You can really see negotiation in everywhere in your life, whether it's you and your partner deciding where to go for dinner, or maybe you're at a stop sign and you're non-verbally communicating with the other driver that they should go first. Being in that negotiation class really taught me how to better my relationships, as weird as it may seem. And if you guys want me to make like a video on the stuff that I learned in that class, I'd definitely be down to do it. Not to mention that to be able to juggle classes and clubs and other extracurriculars effectively, you have to be really good at project management, managing your time, being able to prioritize, you know, your health, sleep, grades, etc. Like, that's a lot of work. And although it was pretty stressful at times, I can really only remember the good stuff about college at this point, which is kind of funny. I was never really someone that enjoyed taking classes. I wasn't really someone that enjoyed school. I never really had the best grades either, but having that experience has been so rewarding for me, and you know, I just remember the good stuff. And now this is going to sound a bit of like Northeastern propaganda, but a big reason on why I decided to pick Northeastern over other schools was because I didn't get into any of the Reach schools that I applied to, but also because of their co-op program. If you guys don't know what co-op is, basically students take 4 to 6 months off of classes to work full-time for an employer anywhere in the country or in the world. And as a business student, I had to do 2 co-ops before I could graduate. Having those 12 months of full-time work experience under my belt definitely differentiated me from the other college graduates in the applicant pool. Like, I didn't have lifeguard on my resume anymore, and I could actually say I worked in an office, and that's definitely helped me get a full-time job in a pandemic market nonetheless. Getting an internship or some kind of work experience so employers can take a look at your resume and see that you've done something can make a difference if you are trying to enter the workforce like that. Now, I don't think that it should really make or break your ability to get a job, and I know a lot of graduates who may not have that much on their resume are struggling, but it's such a competitive market now that having no experience on your resume almost seems like a deal breaker for employers, which I don't think is necessarily fair, but unfortunately the reality. Even if you don't have co-op or work experience or internship experience, the fact that you went to the same school as someone else at an organization that you might want to work at can make a difference. My dad used to always tell me that it's not about what you know, it's more about who you know. And that's the reason why they wanted me to go to like a well-known university, because I get to know, like, I don't know, more high-profile people, or just build a network of smarter people or something. But I really think that this can apply to any university or college that you go to. Just being able to leverage whatever network that you have will help you in the real world. Like, relationships are, I feel like they're 80% of the game. Ultimately, college was worth it for me because I was able to gain a plethora of all these life skills that I still use to my day-to-day today. College is basically a prep stage for actual real life, except it's a lot more convenient. And if you have the opportunity to go to college and take those years to just personally develop and grow, I would definitely take that chance. I would forget about the things that Elon and other guys who are bashing college are saying. Like, yes, it is expensive, but having a diploma, having a 4-year degree is like almost social proof that you're able to commit to something for a long period of time and, you know, succeed. You don't need to have a 4.0 GPA, because I definitely didn't, but it shows that you stuck it through to the end. Now, I talk up college a lot, and they were definitely a really important time in my life, but like I said, recently I just went back to campus like a couple weeks ago, and really I was kind of over it. I wasn't nostalgic about it at all, and although I treasure those moments, it's not necessarily something that I would want to jump back into again. But now I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts. Do you think college was worth it? Do you think it wasn't worth it? And let me know why in the comment section below. It was nice being able to reminisce a bit on my overall college experience. And thank you guys for watching. And until next time, take it easy.